Tuesdays for this Tuesday, March the 29th, 2022. I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, I know you could have been anywhere in this world today. but you decided to be here with me, and I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends, Transition Army. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Oh, man, on this kind of cold and, it's like in the 40s, or it felt like it's in the 30s here in New York City. So we're getting back to the wintry weather. I don't know what's going on here, but hey, it is going on here. So I'm going to see if we have anybody joining us just yet. Not yet, but that's okay. But welcome, guys. Welcome to Transition Army. Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, Transition Army. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got an action-packed show once again. But before I begin the show, I always like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about our life's transition. So that's what we talk about here on Transition Tuesdays. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, is anything going on here? Anything going on? Hey, we got my man Matt joining me here on Transition Tuesdays. What's going on, Matt? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. My Crusader brother is joining me today. What's going on, Matt? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, man. Great to have you, my friend. Great to have you. So, like I said, anything going on here? Things going on since Saturday or since Sunday? Yeah, it has been. Hey, let's get into it. The elephant in the room, right? The slap heard around the world. This was Will Smith slapping comedian Chris Rock in the Oscars. Why was Will Smith assault Chris Rock like this? Why? So I want to do this for you guys to give us some more, clarity on the subject. I want to read to you guys an excerpt from the book, Will Smith's book, which I recommend. I read the book, and it really kind of explains and breaks down why and what happened. Maybe it shouldn't have been at this particular event, you know what I mean? But you can get a better gauge on what happened or what caused this to happen, okay? So this is from the book Will Smith's book, which is a great book. I recommend that you get your hands on it. It's an absolutely fabulous book. So let me just start by reading. It says, and this is Will Smith talking, okay? Now, when I was 9 years old, I watched my father punch my mother in the side of the head so hard that she collapsed. I saw her spit blood. That moment in that bedroom, probably more than any other moment in my life, has defined who I am today. Within everything that I have done since then, the awards, the accolades, the spotlights, and the attention, the characters and the laughs, there has been a subtle string of apologies to my mother for not enacting that day, for failing her in that moment, for failing to stand up to my father, for being a coward. So let's break it down a little bit. Okay, let's break it down a little bit, see if anybody else is joining us. No, okay. So let's break it down a little bit. And the reason why I read that. Seems like Will Smith is in a lot of trauma, a lot of pain. Even at age 9, here's a young man who saw the trauma of his dad hitting his mom and him not doing anything about it. So you fast forward to the Oscars on Sunday, in which Chris Rock, who is a paid comedian, he does what he does. He's there to tell jokes, not produce a TED Talk. All right, so he's there to produce jokes. And he had a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, about G.I. Jane. And for you younger people out there, and maybe some people didn't get the joke, but G.I. Jane was played by Demi Moore as a movie in which she played an army vet, and she shaved her hair. So that was the connection to that. So, and it looked like, well, first of all, let me start. You see, when they pan over to Will Smith, because I was watching this live, actually. Actually, I was watching this whole thing live, and I didn't know what was going on. But when they panned over to Jada, well, actually, Will Smith first was laughing. Okay, let's keep it real. If you guys saw it, Will Smith was laughing at that particular joke. Then they pan over to Jada, and it looked like she was rolling her eyes. So, again, and we're going to talk about this in depth about about spouses and looks and body language, all this. We're gonna get into that as well. But you had Will Smith, who I guess he had to make a decision, and he was sticking up for his wife. And I guess when I read the excerpt of the book, he didn't get it right that time. Even at the age of 9 years old, he felt that he was a coward because he didn't come to the aid of his mom. So here we fast forward to 2022, and it seems like his wife was getting attacked. So he came to his wife's aid. He didn't want to show that he was that coward that he said he was in the book. So he went on to do what he did there. So not saying that's right, but trying to see where everything stems from. There's a lot of trauma, even at age 9 till now for Will Smith. There's a lot of trauma. I'm not condoning him putting hands on anybody. I don't condone violence at all. But, a lot of trauma, a lot of stuff built inside, and I guess something triggered, the alopecia. And let me go on the record by saying, and I think I heard reports about this. I believe I heard reports about this saying that Chris Rock had no idea that Jada Pinkett Smith suffered from alopecia, which is the disease of the scalp causing hair to fall out. He was not aware of that. And I believe that because I believe I believe Chris Rock is a seasoned veteran. He's one of the GOATs in the comedic game. I mean, if he had that knowledge, I know he definitely wouldn't do that. He definitely wouldn't say that joke. That guy, he got too much material, he got too much, he's too skilled in his trade to use something like that. I think they knew each other too, so I don't think he knew about that. But Will Smith gets on stage and he slaps Chris Rock. Now, a couple of things about that before we begin. Now, I tell you, where was security? There have been instances before in the Oscars and other award shows in which you have people getting up on stage and doing things. I remember there was a couple back in the days, there used to be people, sneaking in the Oscars and going up and accepting awards for people. But where was the security? I know it was in proximity, the stage, or was the proximity where Chris Rock was and where his people were sitting at. But where was the security to end all that? To even prevent Will Smith to get up on there? Where was the security? Where was the security? That's number one. Okay. Number two, man, I think okay. Let me just share this with you too, guys. When I was watching it, I thought it was an actual skit that was going on. I thought that he said the joke. Will Smith takes offense to it. He gets up there. He marches up there. And I thought he threw like a slap or a punch. And I thought it was part of a little spoof, a little skit, I guess. And then he went back to his seat. But man, when they run back the tapes where they were playing it like a different international, I think the Chinese or the Asian media got a hold of it. Minus, with the cursing and everything like that and what was being said, man, it was real. It was real. And you can hear the slap of Will Smith, smacking Chris Rock. You can hear it. And, Will Smith now, he had a lot of training in boxing for the movie Ali. I mean, in his book, he talks about how he trained for a year for that movie, how to throw a punch, in position to get punched. And when he threw that, when that smack there, you could see his hips was turning smack right there, And I know you guys out there, I know you guys with all your memes, and all your things that you're saying about, about Will Smith, I know people chimed into Dave Chappelle's skit, when when Rick James and Charlie Murphy says, "What did the five fingers say to the face?" Slap. I know. I see all the memes. I see all that stuff like that. Let's not dump on Will Smith like that. He could be an easy target, but let's not do that. But but I thought it was an actual skit that was going on until when you're watching it live. So the screen went on. Actually, the screen was mute. I mean, it's mute, so his audio was down. So they made sure you didn't hear all the cursing. Will Smith gets back to his seat and he says, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. And he said that twice. And I tell you what, Chris Rock got the message. He said, okay, done deal. He tried to justify with his, hey, dude, because he was in total, let's keep it real. Chris Rock was in total shock when he got hit. And what professionalism about Chris Rock? Man, didn't go down, continue, even had a joke. And I think if you look back at the tape, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, Chris Rock thought about it for a millisecond. I think Chris Rock was going to say something after that. He thought about it and didn't do it, to his credit. So such a professional, this guy here, okay? So my guy Matt says, he made a mistake talking about Will Smith. I hate what he did to Chris Rock. Unfortunately, his life is under a microscope, but it comes with the territory. The pressure of his life and also everything he's been through with his wife turned into an unfortunate, let me just keep reading, unfortunate incident where he took it out on Chris Rock. I believe he's a good man in a lot of pain. I agree with you, Matt. Definitely, man. Definitely. And Matt goes on to say, shame on Jada. Chris is a total professional. Handle it amazing. What do you mean, Matt? Shame on Jada? Shame on Jada for giving that look, or what was the deal? What do you mean shame on Jada on that? But yeah, so it was total out of character, because that's the surprising thing about it. Here's a guy, Will Smith, of all people. Will Smith gets up there and smacks Chris Rock, the comedian. Oh my God, that was totally out of character. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to dive deep into this too, the G.I. Jane joke, I think it was more to it than that. Something was definitely going on before that, because that was really personal. And I tell you what, the slap by Will Smith, an actual slap. So like when you slap somebody, you're just trying to disrespect the person when you slap the person, And it's a double disrespect on Will Smith's part, because not only smacks him, but he just turns his back on the person he just slapped, and then he just walks to his seat like, hey, look, you ain't going to do nothing about it. I'm totally disrespecting you out here right now, and you ain't going to do nothing about it. So though a slap is a really, really sense of disrespect that you're showing. Definitely is. Matt says, she controls him, Russ. Will has been through a lot. Don't forget her infidelity. Yeah, I mean, well, it's, tell you what, Matt, it's, now they quote unquote have this open marriage, and, but again, she did hurt him, and she did make him look a little crazy with this entanglement that she was claiming. What the heck does that mean? But, entanglement and all this stuff like that. But, the one thing I really liked about the book of Will Smith's book, they're very candid and honest about their relationship. They said that everything that they've been through in terms of infidelities and everything, each party knew about it. So, they had that open arranged marriage, I guess, or something like that. But, yeah. And speaking of Jada, I want to ask the question, which only Jada can answer, was she thrilled with what her husband did? He came to her aid. Was she thrilled about it? Because, again, this was all about her And was she thrilled about what happened, what took place? I'm willing to, I would love to find out, the answer on that. Was she thrilled with what her husband did? Was that look a sign of, okay, well, it's go time. You better handle this. As my man Ice Cube said, you better get off your shoulders and you better handle this. So, I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But it's really interesting. Really, really interesting. So, you had all that with the slap and all. But again, Will Smith's in a lot of pain. Will Smith has been like the human punching bag for years, because of what goes on in the public eye, the scrutiny that's involved of a superstar, the territory that comes with the territory. But again, maybe he was totally fed up. He was like, hey, enough is enough. Tonight's the night. You know what I mean? If you're going to get after me and now I got to protect my wife because of this comment, it's going to be on. Could have been that, because I believe everybody has a breaking point. Every single body has a breaking point. I do, you do, Will Smith does, as we obviously seen, okay? Everybody has a breaking point. When you cross that line, I guess in Will Smith's eyes, it was go time. It was go time. So, man, it's just crazy. It's just really crazy, man. And I just want to read a couple more things. So, Will Smith, he has recently apologized on Instagram. He apologized for his antics, and I'll read what he said in Instagram. So he says, jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris, meaning Chris Rock. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. Violence in all forms is poisonous and destructive. Then Will Smith went on to say, I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an all otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. I am a work in progress. So this was Will Smith apologizing to Chris Rock, which took, tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, pardon me, Will Smith, he's going to have to be on a mea culpa trail. He's going to have to be on an apology tour. That's the bottom line. There's a couple people he's going to have to apologize to, either publicly or privately. Chris Rock, he did already, and I'm sure they're going to have a meeting if they haven't done so already privately. I think Will Smith has to apologize to Will Packer and his assistant, those the people who produced the Oscars. I mean, here's a Will Packer, which the night was going well, all the production and everything like this, and then this happens. I think Will Smith owes an apology to him. So Will Smith is going to be on that mea culpa tour. Trust that. He's going to have to do that. And let me say this too before I forget. Man, shout out to Denzel Washington. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to what's my man's name? Oh my God. Who came to Will Smith's aid? I forget his name, the actor. Oh man, it's mistaking me right now. But shout out to those kings, man, especially Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry. Because during the break we saw after he did this, Denzel tracked him down, Tyler Perry tracked him down, talked to him. It seemed like they were trying to calm him down. They was probably giving their insight on, okay, this happened, what happened. Now you gotta get yourself together, Will. Bradley Cooper, that's the guy's name. Bradley Cooper, who came to the help of aid. Oh yeah, we got Chris. What's going on, Chris? We got the voice of the Jaspers joining us. What's going on, Smooth? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Thank you, Smooth. Bradley Cooper. Yes. Also, we got Felicia checking in from the Ville. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Thank you so much. So, shout out to those kings to do that, to come to this guy's aid. Because now we come from a, now, you know, we're part of a culture now, guys, that we're trying to cancel people. You know, people want to cancel Will Smith right away because of that. But no, those two guys swooped in and counseled. We should be all about counseling and not canceling. And they did that thing. So shout out to those kings doing that. Shout out to those kings helping out a guy in need. Okay? Because he was in a traumatic event that just went down. You know? So I'm not saying it was right what he did, but you gotta understand where the source is coming from. The trauma is coming from that. You know? Probably wasn't the right venue. We all know that. But again, you can now kind of understand where that was coming from. Okay? He didn't want to be a coward in the eyes of his wife. Okay? Of a woman, you know, a woman, he didn't want to let her down because he felt like in his eyes, even at the age of 9 years old, he let his mom down. He didn't respond to the dad when the dad hit the mom. And that's all that trauma for all those years. So it makes sense what he did, what he did. You know, not saying it was right, but it does make sense. So I want to ask you guys a quick question really quick. I want to ask those who are married for 5 years and more. 5 years or more. How many people out there have been married 5 years or more? Okay? Work with me, guys. We're going to get to this, okay? Now, with this, because I was married for 16 years, what have you, you know, but I was married for a long period of time. But here's the thing I want to ask you guys. We talked about body language. So, and I want to get theories on this too, because I have a theory on it. So Will Smith sees, he's laughing when it went down. He looks over to his left and he sees his wife rolling her eyes. Okay? A lot of times when you're in relationships, it's the look of that partner that can change it all. Either it's go time to do stuff, or knock it off what you're doing, or like in that case, it could be two different situations. Will Smith is laughing. He looks at Jada Pinkett Smith, who's rolling her eyes. You know, Will Smith could look at it like, okay, wow. Well, Jada Pinkett Smith could be like, okay, oh, you laughing, huh? Oh, you think this is funny? Oh, you think this is funny? Okay, all right. Next thing you know, Will Smith's in the doghouse. Okay? That could be one situation or one scenario. Second scenario could have been, okay, Will Smith is laughing. Looks over to Jada Pinkett Smith. She's not laughing. Then again, he's probably thinking, oh man, she has alopecia. You know, this joke was said about G.I. Jane. Okay? She's really in pain. Okay? I've seen a woman that I love is in pain. I didn't do anything that first time. Now I flash forward to this year, 2022. I see a person I love or happens to be a woman to protect in pain. I have to do something to protect her. So it could have been one of those two scenarios that probably went down in Will Smith's mind. You know, we don't know. Because again, that look, you guys know that look. Those married couples, or I wouldn't even say married too. You know the look that your mom or dad might have got you, might have gave you back in the day when you were younger. It's the look. They don't have to say a word. It's the look, and you know not to do something, or you know to do something with the look. You've seen it. We've all seen it, and that was on display with Jada Pinkett Smith. It's that look, either fight or flight. You know. It's that look. Maybe they might have that situation. But again, I'll say this again. That slappage had nothing to do with that one joke. There was some history behind that. There was some history behind that particular slap. Very much so. A lot of history. A lot of history behind that slap. Because that wasn't a one and done thing with that joke. You know, and we may never know. Who knows? But you know, I just hope that, you know, these guys work it out. And you know, Chris Rock, so I've been looking, like his next concert, I believe, is Saturday. And that's sold out. So all his concerts are sold out because I'm sure that everybody wants to hear, well, you know, what Chris Rock wants to, what's he going to talk about during this time. We got my guy Donnie Elliott for New Orleans. North Carolina's finest joining us. So Don Elliott says toxic. Are you talking about their relationship, D? What are we talking about being toxic? Okay? So yeah. But Chris Rock is literally cashing in on this. I mean, a slap can bring you a lot of money, I guess. So Chris Rock, his concerts are being sold out because I'm sure he's gonna have a lot of material. You're seeing these, these late night hosts. There's a lot of material that's going on. It makes Will Smith look bad in the wrong, but I guess Will Smith's gonna have to go on that mea culpa. He's gonna have to go on that mea culpa and apologize to everybody. And what I'm seeing also is, let me read this too, about Jada Pinkett Smith, because I mentioned Jada Pinkett Smith before. And she came out with a statement as well. She talked about how, she says in Instagram, this is a season for healing, and I'm here for it. Okay, a season for healing, and she's here for it. A season for healing for everybody, or for her, we don't know. But again, I'm very curious to find out, was this slapping her husband coming to her aid? Was she satisfied with this? I don't know. We probably never get the answer to that, but I'm very curious. I would love to know, was she curious for this? Was she satisfied for this? Because let's face it, a lot of times, in relationships, a woman likes to see that their mate is protecting them. So was she satisfied? Really curious to find that out. Hopefully we'll get a chance to find out. Hopefully what these guys could do, and it's probably going to happen, hopefully they'll go on Jada Pinkett Smith show, they'll go on Table Talk, have Will Smith there, have Chris Rock, and Jada Pinkett Smith, they talk about it. So that way, that can create the healing that Jada Pinkett Smith is talking about. I would love to something like that to take place as well. Okay, so Lou is joining. What's going on, Lou? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. So let me just take Chris's comment first. So Chris says, I heard some audio where it sounds like Will saying he warned Chris about going there. Okay, I gotta produce that audio for me there, Chris, because I haven't heard that yet. But it could be doing that. But he tried to warn them ahead of time. I don't know. He warned them twice, but this was after the smack, of course. Okay. We got my guy Lou joining. What's going on, Lou? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friend. And Lou says, hey, Russ, have you discussed the fact that initially Will Smith laughed at the joke, then he looked over at his wife and she gave him the look. That's right. We talked about that, Lou. If you just joined us, we talked about that look. That's when Smith got up and approached the stage. Yes, Lou, you've been married for years, right? You know about that look. Every man knows about that look. That look is go time, So yeah, we talked about that, Lou. That look, the look. And Donnie says, I think they were against Chris because of the comments made before another Oscar event where he criticized Jada for staying. She was going to boycott the event. Yeah, let's talk about that. So what Don's talking about when Chris Rock was hosting the Oscars, Jada Pinkett Smith was saying how we should boycott the Oscars. We should have our own award show because they're not acknowledging the fact of us, as black people, with our credentials, what we come to the show, what we bring to the show, and we're always snubbed. And I believe the comment that Chris Rock said was, oh yeah, that's all fair and good, Jada, but we weren't inviting you to the Oscars. So, that could be a sore spot. Maybe that was the source of it. Maybe that was it. Lou says, God knows, yes, many, many years. Oh, come on, Lou. Come on, many, many great years. So you've seen that look. Firsthand, marriage is a great thing. Marriage is a great thing, Lou. So, yeah. So, again, what Don said is correct. Maybe he can stem from that. And this was the opportunity for Will Smith to settle the score on that comment. It was definitely something. It wasn't just that joke. Ladies and gentlemen, understand that. it wasn't just that joke. Okay, it wasn't just that joke. So, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what goes on with this. This is gonna still continue on, but hopefully these guys can really settle this. Settle. And be the bigger people, because I'm gonna admit, ladies and gentlemen, I cringed when I heard Will Smith, when his voice was carrying like that, and cursing and stuff like that. I really cringed. I really felt that, man. And you have some people saying, "Oh, Will Smith, why would he do that?" Or Chris Rock, why he didn't punch him, and this and that and the third. Thing I'm about to say is, guys, you don't know what you would do in that situation. You have no idea what you could do in that situation. Unless when you're faced in that situation, you have no idea. I think Chris Rock handled it extremely well with professionalism. Man, the guy didn't go down. He had a tough jaw, as Diddy said. He didn't go down. He kept a professionalism. He was a little off a little bit because when he was presenting the award, and that's understandable, what went down. But, he handled it with grace, class, and professionalism. He was there to present the award. He finally got through and he did it. So, but you just never know. You hear all these people, "Oh, I would have did this, I would have did that. Oh, no way, I would let him get close to me." Oh, come on, man. What does Don says? Don says that smack, I guess, is not going away and it will cost him out of court. Nah, Don, that's not gonna happen, brother, because that will be, and I know Chris Rock ain't this. That would be a real sucker move if he presses charges on Will Smith. That ain't gonna happen, man. Nah, that ain't happen. It ain't gonna be no pressing, no charges, none of that. That's not gonna happen, Don. That's not gonna happen. Nah. Chris Rock's from Brownsville. Never ran, never will. That ain't gonna happen, Don. That ain't gonna happen. No press, no charges gonna be pressed, nothing like that. But again, there are consequences to action. So I know I was reading about how the Oscars committee, they're looking at the footage and they're seeing that there might be some repercussions because of Will Smith and what he did. They'll be talking about maybe banning him from the Oscars or possibly reneging on that Oscar. Now, I don't know about that now. That's crazy. Just taking the Oscar. That's that'd be insane. What are you gonna put, an asterisk? We already know who won the award. And again, this slapping incident really, man, it really overshadows the event that he did win for Best Actor. Had a great speech as well, but what we're gonna remember is the actual slap. That's the way that goes, and that's unfortunate. But that's not done yet. But again, I think if Will Smith continues the mea culpa, the apology tour, apologizing to everybody from babies to everything. People have short-term memories. We are a forgiving country here in the United States. People will forgive Will Smith if he's definitely sincere. And so far, he's been sincere, and I will think he will continue to be sincere. Continue to be sincere. And Pete says, we got Pete joining us. Pete says, really? Who the hell cares? Pete, come on, guy. We care about this, man. This is important. This is important. Yeah, we definitely got to care about this, Pete, because, here's a guy who wins an Academy Award, who is great in our communities. He snaps. This is important. We got to talk about these things, Pete. We got to talk about these things. I'm glad you joined us, man, so you can find out we care. We care. And guys, I have another theory. Sometimes my mind works like this, and it's kind of related to like a sports thing. So a lot of times, at least when I play, sometimes if you get mad at somebody, you were going to fight them. Let's say you're going to fight them, so you charge at them. But when you charge at somebody, you got to make sure that people are there to break it up. So you kind of look like a tough guy. Oh, I'm going after the guy, but people break it up, and they probably be like, "Hey, you lucky, because they broke it up, And it reminds me of when Carmelo Anthony got into the little tussle with Kevin Garnett, and he talked about Kevin Garnett's wife at the time. I mean, Kevin Garnett talked about Carmelo's wife Lala at the time, said she tastes like Cheerios, and Carmelo took exception to that. So Carmelo didn't do anything on the court, but he just waited afterwards at the bus where they were about to take, and he didn't get through because security was there. So he looked like a tough guy, I guess, something like that. So his scenario, I think, might have happened. All right? Maybe this could have happened. I don't know. Maybe this is just my warped mind. But when Chris Rock said the joke, Will Smith laughs. He looks at Jada. Jada gives him the look. The look was just saying, okay, Will, you better handle this. Will goes up there, right? Now, it all goes back to that security question. I said, where was the security? Because I bet you Will Smith went up there knowing damn well he was going to be stopped by security. Security didn't come. So I guess he was like, damn, I got to go through this now. Man, no one's going to stop me. I guess I got to do it now. Whereas if the security had stopped him, then he would have been like screaming over security, oh, you lucky, lucky that I didn't get there, whatever, this and that and the third. That's how it is in sports, too. A lot of times guys don't want to fight. They charge like they do because they know people are going to be blocking them. And then you look all good, But maybe that's me. Maybe that's my warped mind. That's the way I think. But I think that might have went down. But Will was probably like, damn, I tell you, man. Wow, no one's coming to stop me? Oh, my God. I really got to go through this? Oh, boy. And then slap. Okay? So maybe that went down like that. I don't know. I can't speak for Will Smith. I wasn't in his mind, but it's just a scenario I just was thinking about. But I don't know. I digress. But, hopefully these kings get a chance to sit down, heal, and have us heal about it. And go on Red Table talk about it with Jada Pinkett Smith. That's important as well because she's the person that, everything was directed towards. So, and I think that'd be a great moment. It'd be a great moment for us to see that. I would love to see that because I don't never want to see kings like that getting in fights or anything like that on, live or whatever. It doesn't matter the situation where it was, but you don't want to see these guys are giants, man. Giants in our communities, giants in hip hop, giants in in comedy, giants in the acting world. You never want to see us, getting down and fighting and stuff like that. No, not at all. And like Will Smith said, it's all about the love. All about the love. All about the love. So Don says, right, he says, then he could have said, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. There you go, D. You right. That's the scenario. Perfect. There you go, Don. So he goes up there. He gets stopped by security. Yes. Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. That's right, Don. There you go. See, Don? See, we thinking. See, we as former athletes, that's how we thinking. That's right. Even though my guy Don got in a lot of scuffles, mine is the security. But I'm just saying. But but yeah, so hope these kids, hope these kings and queens get together, talk it out. Shout out again. I can't stress. Shout out to Denzel Washington, man. Shout out to Tyler Perry, man, for keeping the peace, man. Because that could have got really ugly. That could have got really ugly. I'm so glad it didn't. So glad that it didn't. Man, oh man. So, ladies and gentlemen, transition on. I want to talk about one more thing before we bounce out of here. But I want to talk about the NCAA tournament, the Final Four that's coming in New Orleans. Okay, on Saturday, you got Duke against North Carolina. I got my big buddy Donnie Elliott. He's here. He's from North Carolina. I want to see who he's going to root for. But you got that. This might be Coach K's last stand, I guess, Duke against North Carolina. I got Duke winning that game. Then you got Kansas versus Nova. Man, you got my man Caleb Daniels, which I coached against him when I was at Brother Martin High School in New Orleans. He is coming back home, for Villanova against Kansas. I think Kansas will beat them. And then you have Kansas versus Duke. And I think Duke will win the championship. And then Coach K will go out, blaze of glory. They win it. Too much firepower. I got them winning it. So it should be a good thing. It should definitely be a good thing. Don says fake news. Now, Don, I know you better not be talking about fake news about you getting in the fights. Now, that's definitely not fake news if you talk about fake news, all right? As Felicia says, North Carolina pride. That's right. North Carolina all over the place. Duke against UNC. North Carolina wins. North Carolina wins there, Felicia. North Carolina wins. So, Don, get back with me on that. Fake news? What am I reporting about fake news? And it better not be about you fighting, because you had a lot of fights. You know, a lot of fights. But that's okay. No judgment on that. No judgment. No judgment. No judgment. I still love you, brother. I still love you. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, and think during this broadcast, my good friends, you have accomplished something major. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. As I play my theme music here today. Hey! What's up, y'all? Oh, all right, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Transition Tuesdays today. Each and every Tuesday. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So after the show, I want you to go to our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesdays. You can watch this episode and our past episodes. And when you do so, please make sure that you like and subscribe before you leave the channel, okay? Do that for me if you can, all right? And if you haven't been following me, you can follow me on Instagram at Russ Will Transitions. That's Russ Will Transitions with an S, okay? So please follow me there. And I want to give a special shout out. Special shout out to you guys, the Transition Army. You guys tuning in each and every Tuesdays. I appreciate you guys. I applaud you guys. You guys are my special guests each and every week, man. Each and every week. All right? Let's get back to the theme music. All right. And I want to shout out to our sponsor, Sweet Candy Cafe, which is the home of Southern Sweetness, located in Lumberton, North Carolina. There goes that North Carolina theme again, all right? So after the show, I want you guys, after the show, we're almost done. So after the show, I want you guys to go to sweetcandycafe.com to order your confectionery goodies, okay? Make sure you do that. They ship home and abroad, all right? Make sure you do that, okay, guys? Again, that's sweetcandycafe.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we say in party, happy transitioning, and we'll speak to you soon, guys. Take care. God bless.